welcome to the game of the day where I randomize a date and play a game that came out on that same day. For those who are unfamiliar with the series, last episode I let the most liked comment from my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube communities decide what I'd play for the 20th episode, and the community that we landed on was TikTok that decided to pick Pirate 101 for today's game. And for those of you who are curious what the most liked game was across all platforms, it was this. Anyways, let's move on. Pirate 101 released on October 15th of 2012, which came after the success of Wizard 101 4 years prior. As a kid, I'd see commercials for the two games, but I leaned more towards Fusion Fall instead, as I loved Cartoon Network growing up and the game was completely free, so it was a no-brainer for me and my parents' wallets. But getting into Pirate 101 though, the game starts off with your setup of picking a gender, name, appearance, starter clothes, class, and adds a twist of selecting what your origin is, which actually plays a part into the gameplay, which I'll touch on later. But after getting your character, you're thrown into a quick tutorial which features you getting your first of 16 possible crewmates. I'm not sure if everyone gets the same default crewmates, but I got Subadai the Horse Barbarian to start. Shortly after that, you get thrown into the gameplay, and that has a lot to cover. To start, it's turn-based and the stats are broken down into two categories. The main categories are strength, agility, and will, and the bigger the gap is between you and your opponent in those areas, the more they matter. The other stats includes weapon power, spell power, accuracy, dodge, armor, magic resistance, and health. Every stat in this game can be boosted by items you find while battling, opening chests, and completing quests. Some items are locked behind different classes and origins, so picking those wisely plays into how your playthrough will go. One final component you have is power cards that are randomly used throughout battle to give you a competitive advantage. Now the combat itself is set on a grid and you just go up to any enemy you want to attack if you're in their range to fight them. Other things appear on the grid such as breakable crates and obstacles that get in your way to spice up the strategy a bit. You can fight with up to 4 people between crewmates or other users online who can join your battle at any time, which was great and made it feel like a cohesive online experience. Did I also mention you could do skyship fights? Your ship is fully customizable and there's an entire other leveling system dedicated just to whenever you're fighting on it. The last thing I'll touch on is the game's chapter system. Since the game has a main story, the introduction and the first part of the prologue is free, but every chapter after you can either buy on a paid membership or buy individual chapters with the game's currency of crowns that can be earned in-game or bought with real money. I feel like I'm barely scratching the surface of what this game has to offer, but the sheer amount of content and features it has is pretty remarkable. Things like player versus player, a fully voice acted cast, a bunch of side quests having pets and mounts, and a ton of world to explore. I could definitely see why some people who played this game when it launched 13 years ago would still be playing it to this day. So from the time I got to experience the game, I'd give this a golden doubloon out of 10. I'll leave a comment which you would rate this game alongside games you hope to see in the future on this series, and I'll see you guys in the next one.